Hello YouTube, welcome to another video on Atlanta to Dallas Aviation, and today I actually have an unboxing for you. I was expecting something to show up to potentially give you I said unboxing, unveiling. I'm doing an unveiling. I don't use unboxing. Unveiling for you today. And I actually have more than what I'm going to show you today, but the other things I have to show you, I wasn't expecting to get here until March. And so I was going to do that as my birthday unveiling as to what I got for my birthday. But I'm going to wait for the reason I have two other things I want to show you is because they got shipped early. They were made in an order where the third item wasn't supposed to be here until the end of February. So I was like, okay, well, that will be likely my one and only March unveiling. So I'm going to save that for the rest of the order to be shipped to me. So if my birthday gets here first and I only have these two other items, I will do that. If otherwise, I will hopefully have three items to show you for my birthday unveiling. However, back to this unveiling, I have a couple of things to show you, and you're seeing the box for the first thing I'm going to show you. And this is a Herpa airport hangar. And as you might, I guess you probably can't see it. I think I got it cut off. Hold on. There we go. There's the whole box. So as you can probably see, it says 1/500 scale. However, as long as I'm not using wide body aircraft, this size is just fine for narrow body aircraft in 400 scale, and it looks reasonably nice, and it's sort of cheaper than some of the 400 scale ones that you can get either from Gemini Jets or potentially even ones that you could have 3D printed. This is pretty much a bargain. Now, so I already have two of these. I had bought them many years ago when I decided that I could use this as an alternative. I just couldn't really use it necessarily for wide body aircraft. But anyway, so I already have two of these, and this is my third one. I probably won't get any more. And I don't know if you can kind of tell, but so I'm going to show you what I already have, and that's probably actually a better thing to do. But anyway, so there is the Herpa airport hangar, and my usual thing here. There's the part number, 5190762, and there's a front picture of what's actually in the box, but I'm going to tell you what I've done to the other two that I had that made it a little bit different than this one. Alright, and then nothing really any different. Oh, I guess this side has a picture of it from the front where the doors are, and then this would be the front if if it was at an actual airport and you had to drive in. These would be the front doors that you would go in. So that's the other side of the hangar, and this is a picture of the side. But anyway, I'm going to bring in one of my old ones so we can get a look at this. All right, so this gives you some idea of what this looks like. Now, some of y'all may have some of these and already know what it looks like and how you put it together. Anyway, so this is this is basically what it looks like. That would be the front for the employees, where there's a side where this would be the front for the airplanes. And there's enough of these doors where you can have it where the doors are closed, or you can have them open like this. And now what I'm going to point out here, so basically the parts of this are several of these doors. There's 6 of these little doors. Well, it looks like there's only room for 5. I'll get to that in a minute. So there's 6 of these doors. There are 2 side panels, which include this part here. And then this part here, these are one big piece. So 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece, 5 piece. But the whole one has 6 pieces. So what I've done with the 2 existing ones that I had was I took one of these pieces out of this one and made the other one more piece wider and made this one more piece shorter. So I have a smaller one, I have a larger one, and then the new one that I have is its normal size. Now I could potentially take parts of that one and I could make one big huge hanger, but the problem is, so these little things here, these are what hold these parts together, and when you get too many in there, it's not structurally sound. And I was going to make my longer one 8 pieces. So I was going to take another piece out of this, or maybe have this one and then my new one take a piece out of that. But I found out a long time ago that I couldn't expand it more than an extra piece, or it was caving in on the top, so it would be all like brown like this. So the structural integrity of more than 7 pieces just didn't really work out. Now I could have glued them together and that would probably have worked, but I didn't want to limit my ability to swap out pieces and also potentially having to break it down. If I had to move somewhere, I would want to be able to break it down and put it back in the box and travel with it or ship it or whatever. So I didn't go the gluing it together way that I could have done. But anyway, so that gives you an idea of what the Herpa 1/500 scale hanger looks like. And I'll bring in a narrow body aircraft so you can see how even with this smaller one where I took out one of these. All right, so I'm going to bring in this United 757. So this is 400 scale, and you see that it fits right in there. And it fits pretty far back in there too. I'm not sure if you can really tell, and I can't get much lower on my camera right now the way it is, but you can, I think you can kind of see. This is not sticking out, by the way. That's just some of the light that I have in here is shining on that, but if I pushed it in further, it would get all dark. So it's actually, the tail is actually completely inside. So if I had all the doors up here, it would not be hitting the door. And I could even push it in a little bit further. And it would definitely, a 757-200 fits in there lengthwise perfectly. So as you can, so you can see how even though this is a 500 scale, hanger. It's usable. I mean, it's even usable with a wide body. It's just that the wide body would be sticking out. So you could even do that, but it looks normal with the narrow body aircraft. It looks totally believable. And this is probably the cheapest option out there if you can find them anywhere. So I recommend getting yourself at least one Herpa 1/500 scale hanger if you can still find them. Like I said, they're perfectly fine, especially for narrow body aircraft. All right, so I'm going to take this out of the way. The second item I'm going to share with you, I'm going to show you the box first, like I normally do with unveilings. And then, I don't have my turntable. All right, well, this is going to be a little bit different. Usually my unveilings, I am set up where I put it on the turntable, but sorry, I don't have it that way this time. So anyway, I'm going to just going to show it to you this way. All right. So I actually haven't seen anybody unveil one of these yet. So this could be the first one. Could be the first one to post a video on this. All right. So Eastern Airlines Lockheed L1011-1 TriStar. And although I never saw that it said that the NG website said this, but this one is actually their sub-brand of Buchanan models. As you can, it's trying to focus on there. Hopefully you can see Buchanan models, which we all know, again, subsidiary or whatever of NG models. And this is a very interesting box. I don't know if Buchanan just does the box type differently than NG does. I mean, obviously it's an NG type box, but to actually have an actual picture on there and not just a CGI version of the model inside. So that's pretty neat. I kind of like that. It kind of is reminiscent of Dragon Wings. I believe, if I remember correctly, Dragon Wings boxes usually had a picture of the actual aircraft that's inside, and they didn't have the CGI version. But anyway, so what I'm going to be showing you today is registration November 305 Echo Alpha. And this is item number, if you can see that, it's item number 10011, or otherwise known as NG 10011. All right, so that's front there, bottom, side, top, other side, and then the back is just the picture itself plus the barcode and all that good stuff. So no big deal. And branded Buchanan models up here at the top, where it does not say that on the front part of the box. It has Eastern logo on it. You know what? I may be incorrect. Yesterday Airlines might have he may not have done a model review of this, but I think he did. He may have done a video, so mine's definitely not the first video, unless he only did a blog. I'm not sure if I'm using that correctly, but on his website, he may have done some sort of closer look at this. But we finally get the Eastern Airlines Elton 11 after being teased by NG and Buchanan models with one that had the stripe, but it was Air Canada or something like that. But we finally got this, and it is a beauty. And also to note that this registration number was actually done many years ago by Dragon Wings. So fortunately or unfortunately, I have duplicates, but just because it was duplicates and I did not look, but even if I had looked and noticed they were duplicates, I still would have gotten this model. So I have a duplicate, and obviously this model is superior, even though the Dragon Wings version isn't that bad. So, and that is the video that yesterday, I don't know if it was a video or just, like I said, if he did a write-up on it, but he compared this version to the Dragon Wings version, either on a Facebook post or on his website or as a YouTube video. I just do not remember, but he did do that. And if you want to see that, I would suggest going and finding, since I'm not good at linking stuff to my videos yet, I would suggest going to yesterday's airlines and seeing if you can find the video, if there is a video. Otherwise, it's probably on his website as a write-up, and he explains, you know, the differences about the Dragon Wings version versus this one. And obviously this one is way more detailed, because just back when Dragon Wings was doing were doing models, their models weren't near as, they still looked pretty good, and some of their molds looked pretty good, but they did not do a lot of detail printing, if you know what I'm talking about. But let's get a close up here. I'm not sure how much closer I can get here, so I'm going to just leave it right here. I'm not going to really point out all that much here, because there's a lot of technical things I'd like to point out, but I don't necessarily know what the technical word for them is, like these little scoops or whatever that are just forward of the L1 door that are down here at the bottom. You kind of see that one in gray, and there's one underneath that. I don't know what that's called, but I actually believe that that's one of those details that may or may not be on the Dragon Wings. But also Dragon Wings had some molds that were surprisingly had some of those details actually as part of the mold. So you know, they had some pretty good molds in their time, but this one was definitely worth getting also. And if I ever do a retro airport, I'll have both of these in there, even though they're both the same registration. But yeah, you can see how beautiful this is. You got the American flag on the S-cone, S-duct. It's S-duct. You got the American flag up there on the number 2 S-duct. And then you have your November 305 Echo Alpha. And then there's your number 2 engine there as we look down the port side of the airplane. All right. So I do have a little bit more to share on this. I don't have a lot of this. I don't have a lot of this video I can cut out, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the last things that I wanted to hit. So the things that I usually share with you are is the extra information for this model. and usually the model is turning on the turntable as I read this to you, but I didn't have the turntable up here, and I didn't have access to a power thing I could have moved it over here, but I didn't have anything that could power my turntable, so you're getting it like this, fortunately or unfortunately. So anyway, this aircraft was delivered to Eastern Airlines on the 23rd of November in 1972, and it was acquired by Delta Airlines on the 30th of December 1991 after the bankruptcy, and they ceased operations. And it was re-registered as November 782 Delta Lima. And then later on, it was broken up at Mojave in September of 2002. So sadly enough, this airframe does no longer exist. It was powered by 3 RB211-22Bs, and it had a seating arrangement likely to be 28 domestic first class and 288 coach for a total of 316 total seats. And that was when it was with Eastern. And the last thing I wanted to share, which I thought was interesting, was this little card. So it did come with the points card for collector points cards. It came with that, but it also came with this little card. So basically, it's the picture that's on the front of the box, but with the CGI on top there. And it says it's 1/400 scale right down there in the corner. And at the bottom it has a little bit of the hockey stick coloring there. All right, and then on the other side, they're saying it's a certificate. So it says this is to certify this release. The release of this model was promoted by collectors. So supposedly they did this model because of the voted by collectors in the section where when they open up CRP to get free models, there's 2 other sections there. I think there's a section where you can vote, but you have to use points to be able to vote, and you also in another section where you can nominate, but you also have to use points to nominate. So I didn't want to use my points for that. I want to use my points to get free models. I'm in no hurry to get anything in particular, so I'll just wait until the rest of the collectors force NG's hand into making something that I want, because most collectors seem to want similar things that I want. So I'll just let them use their points. But anyway, so it has this little certificate, so that's fun. And I guess I don't know exactly, scan QR code below for the details. Okay, so I guess you take a picture of that, or you do a reader and it takes you to more information about this model, or how it got voted, or what the voting numbers were, or whatever. But I do not know, and I'm not going to look into that, but I'm sure it's along those lines. All right, so that's what you get when you order the Eastern Airlines L1011. And that will pretty much do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and sharing. And if you have enjoyed multiple videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. So until the next video, happy collecting.